Pradip, good afternoon. Since the last time we spoke in last 6-7 days, markets has rallied. It's done particularly well in the last 14-15 days. Does it open legs for further up move to 8600 levels?
Good afternoon, Pankaj. For that to happen, 82.43 needs to be taken out decisively. Decisively, I would prefer on weekly basis. Why 82.43? The fall from 91.19 to 68.26. If you take the entire fall, 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level comes at 82.43 level. So that is a very important Fibonacci retracement level, and we would want Nifty to close above it for a couple of days and preferably on a weekly basis. Then the level you mentioned, 86.50, that is the 52-week high and as well as the top made in July 2015. So straight away that would be the next major target, and more or less this 82.43, if you take similar levels for Bank Nifty, entire fall from 21,000 to 13,400, that fall 61.8% retracement level of this entire fall comes to 18,000, which Bank Nifty has touched today. So I think both these levels are very important Fibonacci retracement levels, and I would wish that both the indices take these retracement levels or resistance level on weekly basis, and then we can gun for 86.50 for Nifty and 19,200 for Bank Nifty.
Right, as you said, 82.43 for Nifty, we are currently above that. So in the next 2 days, even if we don't correct a lot or, we just hover around as we are, it will open up the channels to go up?
Certainly so, and more importantly, I was looking at the sectoral indices, and I found that NSE Auto index has already broken out on its weekly charts, and couple of more indices like Nifty FMCG, Nifty Consumption, Nifty Financial Services. All these sectoral indices are looking very good on their weekly charts. So I think Nifty Auto being such an influential index and couple of more indices are on the verge of breakout on their weekly charts. So I think it's a matter of time before Nifty also breaks out of decisively breaks out of this 82.43 hurdle, and I think that will open up the space for further up move till at least about 86.50 as I mentioned.
Right. So, let's talk about the auto pack. What do you like there? As the index has broken out, which names do you like? Tata Motors has done particularly well. Maruti has done well. Do you think these names can accelerate onto their gains?
I would put Tata Motors, Bajaj Auto and Hero MotoCorp on the top. Tata Motor, because as I've been mentioning, 432 was a very crucial resistance area where it took resistance twice in last 7-8 months, and now that it has decisively taken out that level, I think targets of 605, which is its highest high made earlier, that is possible over next couple of months. Similarly, Hero MotoCorp, we have been bullish for quite some time, and after initial breakout above 2800, it has also broken out, or it's ready to break out above its next major resistance of 3170. Once that happens, I would see 3400, 3600 kind of levels on Hero MotoCorp. Similarly, Bajaj Auto also has broken out of its resistance area of 2600. So here also I would expect targets of closer to 3000 or even 3000 plus over next 7-8 months. So these three will be our top picks in AutoPack.
Right. How would you look at L&T? 1512, after the results it had a pause and then now it's again giving a breakout?
Yes, certainly so. After the result, it has a big positive day when it made a high of 1485, and then it sort of consolidated for a couple of days, and now it has broken afresh above it. Now the next major target I would watch out for is 1554. If you take the entire fall for L&T, the 61.8% retracement level comes to around 1554. So that is the next major resistance area. Once that is taken out, then we can talk about higher levels, but definitely L&T looks good.
Right. Would you be a buyer on L&T even now?
Yes, certainly so, because we have well-defined stop-loss levels. If you see the consolidation of past couple of sessions, then 1440 was the lowest low in this 8-10 days. So with that as a stop-loss, one can even get into L&T at current levels. 1555, as I mentioned, would be the initial target, and once that is taken out, then we can talk about higher levels.
Right. Pradeep, just stay on with us. Markets are about to close 2 points higher for the Nifty, 3 points lower for the Sensex. So really no major change. ITC blinking into red and green. Infosys down 1.6. Tata Power up 3%. ONGC up 1.3%. Sun Pharma down about 0.12%. NTPC flat 148. Yes Bank 0.5% lower. Reliance Industries up 1 rupee, as flat as it could get. Adani Ports down about 1.2, HDFC Limited up 0.3, Ambuja Cement up 2%, and Bharti Airtel up about 1%. L&T up 1.6%, 1512. We just spoke about it with Pradeep. Power Grid up 1.9, 152, 153. HCL Tech up 2.3%, 744. Tata Motors DVR 322. Wipro up about 0.8, HUL up about 0.1%. If you look at Kotak Bank was down 1.7 but was among the top gainers yesterday. HDFC Bank was down 1%. Lupin was down about 0.25%. BPCL 0.5% higher, 981. Aurobindo Pharma 773, 2 rupees higher. Cipla up about 1%, 743. Tech Mahindra 534. GAIL up about half up, 50 paisa or so. Z Entertainment down 1.4. IndusInd Bank up about 1%. That's the closing bell. 1,115 for IndusInd Bank, 5 to 6 rupees higher. Ultratech up about 1% or so. Second day in a row, actually, Ultratech is doing very well. Dr. Reddy's down about 0.6. Bajaj Auto down about 0.5% or so. Tata Power was among the top gainer. I think tomorrow there is a hearing of Tata Power, so 75.8 ahead of that. HCL Tech did well. At the same time, Infosys was on the lower side. So HCL Tech was the second top gainer. Ambuja up about 2%, 239, 2.4 million shares traded. Power Grid up about 1.8, 152.7. BHEL 121, 122. At the time we started the 230 factor, BHEL was the top gainer. L&T 1511, 1.5, 1.6. BOB was also looking particularly good. MotoCorp, that's a name which I think Pradeep mentioned about, 1.2% higher, 3,170, 40 rupees higher. Let's look at the top losers as well. So Kotak Mahindra Bank 1.6% lower, 759. Infosys was down about 1.5%, 1,238. Z Entertainment did go down 455. Asian Paints 1,018, 1.4% lower. Adani Ports was slightly lowered as well, 1.5% down, 203, 204 for Adani Ports, 2.75 million shares traded for that name. Mid-cap gainers, so JSW Energy was up about 13.7%, 80.45 for this name, 9 to 10 rupees higher. Walchandnagar Industries was up 10.5 odd percent. Gati did well, 10% higher. It was almost at the upper circuit level. Reliance, if you look at Reliance Defense, it was up about 10% or so. Punj Lloyd from the defense pack also did well. HCC, I think, also did well. HCC was up about 7.5 to about 8 odd percent. These were some of the broader market gainers that did quite well today. Pradeep, what would be your view as far as some of these mid-cap plays are concerned? You think the mid-cap index, the way it is rallied, it would do well? Something like a JSW Energy, 13%. Just giving you signs that even there, the under-owned names are now seeing some buying.
Certainly so. Apart from JSW Energy, one more stock which looked good in power space is PTC. Now this energy space has underperformed a lot, so it was heartening to see some of these stocks coming back on the radar. Also, past couple of days we have seen underperformance by mid cap, and today was the first day we saw good outperformance by mid caps. So I think apart from this energy, JSW you mentioned, logistics was another space, sugar has been buzzing. So I think mid cap is a space I think should continue outperformance while Nifty consolidates around its 80 to 43 resistance and tries to close above it decisively on weekly basis. I think weekly mid cap space should continue to do well over next couple of days.
Right. How would you go ahead and look at something like a SKS Microfinance? It did particularly well towards the closing, closed at a high 690 odd levels. How would you look at SKS Micro?
See, along with SKS Micro, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, Nifty Financial Services Index is one which has broken out after a good consolidation. So, along with SKS Micro, we are positive on whole host of financial services stocks. It will include this microfinance companies. It will include this housing finance companies, and apart from you have CAPF, Shriram Transport Finance, Manappuram, Muthoot Finance. So all these stocks we have been positive for quite some time. Talking about SKS Micro, it broke out well. Past some days back, some weeks back, I think 570 was the breakout level. So it's not a fresh breakout; it is a continuation kind of pattern. It runs up a lot, then takes a breather, then moves up again. So we will continue to be positive on SKS Micro, but I think fresh position will be taken on some of the other stocks which I mentioned: GICI's Housing Finance, CAPF, Muthoot, Manappuram. These stocks after breakout has run up, but not as much as SKS Micro. So margin of comfort is more in these stocks.
Right. How is probably something like a Siemens looking? Now it's a name which we don't talk about. It was up 4.5% today. How is Siemens India looking? ABB or Siemens, if you have any view?
Siemens, I think, looks particularly interesting. After, this week's move, it would have most probably taken out its upper band of Bollinger. That is the minimum requirement we consider for breakout on the weekly charts. So once it does that, I think it can move to 1560 kind of level, which is its previous all-time high. So certainly, apart from Voltas and L&T, Siemens would be the third in the pecking order in the capital goods space, and I would watch favorably towards Siemens.
Right. M&M Finance 340 up 3%, 340 levels.
Yeah, this also belongs to the same pack I mentioned, financial services. Although breakout happened much earlier at 274, I think there is some steam more left. I think 380, 400 kind of levels can be achieved over next couple of months. So here I would consider any dip as a buying opportunity. And apart from L&T, M&M Finance, L&T Finance is also one stock which broke out on its weekly charts at 75, 77 kind of levels. So both these stocks I would consider as buy on dips kind of opportunities.
How would you look at Hindalco? It's done very well since the results have come out.
See, metal is one more pack where we have been positive over past couple of months. Now, Hindalco, we were working with a target of 110, which is where its 20-month moving average was placed. It has achieved that level. So I think once it sustains above these levels, then 200 DMA, which is placed around 130, would be the next major target. So after a consolidation and testing of its 200 DMA, it has resumed this uptrend and achieved 110 target. So I think it has possibility to cross this 110 level and go towards 130 mark. So I would be staying long in Hindalco with a stop loss of around 97, 98 kind of level.
Right, Pradeep. Thank you so much for taking out time for us. Hope you have a great day.